You're listening to today's inspirational message on the Proverbs with Bjorklund.
Friends are faithful. They're constant. They don't turn from you when you're going through something that's difficult or your ways are unpleasing to them. And they don't turn on you even when maybe you do things that are not what they would like. Proverbs 27:10 tells us about that faithful friend. It says, don't forsake a friend or your father's friend, and don't go to the house of a brother's house. Go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor who's near than a brother who is far away. Value your friendships. Be faithful. But there's another quality, and Derek Kidner again calls this the idea of candor. And he sees this in Proverbs 27, verse 6. It says, faithful are the wounds of a friend. Profuse are the curses of an enemy. And this really is important to understand because even verse 5 says, better is open rebuke than hidden love. And so a friend is somebody who will give open rebuke, and they'll speak hard truth, and knowing that means it's ultimately good. Rebuke here, in many ways, means constructive criticism, and it's meant for restoration and well-being of its recipients. It may be painful to hear, and one's first inclination may be to reject it. And it's said that open rebuke is better than hidden love here. Therefore, we want to value people who will say the hard things and the unpopular things to us. We need truth tellers in our lives, somebody who will be candid and give us those faithful wounds. Being a friend who's willing to speak hard truths will garner a deeper friendship than merely flowering someone with praise. In fact, this Proverbs tells us that people are tested by their praise. That's what we read when it says in verse 21, the crucible is for silver and furnace for gold, and a man is tested by his praise, meaning how much you drink in of praise and how much you require it actually tells you something. And then false love will flatter. And this is, again, in verse 5:6, hidden love and profuse kisses of the enemy. And this isn't as good. There are times that people will say nice things to you with the hope that they can use that flattery to manipulate you. You've heard it said that nice words are to be treated like perfume. They're to be sniffed, not ingested. Others who flatter us don't do it to manipulate, but they do it because they want to be liked more than anything. And if somebody who's close to you rarely has anything but positive words for you, they fit the description of flattery, and you need to take what they say with caution, lest you start to believe their words of praise. The testing of that. Their intention may not be to manipulate, but simply to avoid saying anything difficult or challenging. In this case, they actually love themselves more than they love you. So they'll refuse to speak hard truths unless it helps you like them more. Their goal of their interaction is to be liked. So they become default flatterers. Proverbs 27 verse 21 says again that a man is tested by praise. So what you do when you receive praise tests you. Do you take it in and savor it and live in an elevated state because of it? Or do you have your whole countenance rise up or come down with whether you're praised or not? And if you handle praise with a casual, it's nice to hear, but it doesn't define you attitude, you will either, if you handle praise with a causal, it's nice to hear, casual, it's nice to hear, but it doesn't define your attitude, you will either be taken too high or too low with how people speak of you. See, your self-assessment, my self-assessment ultimately needs to rest in Jesus, and that will allow us to have friends who can speak candidly, truthfully, and know that the wounds of a friend are faithful. I don't know if you've ever had a friend tell you something like you have something in your teeth, and at first you may feel defensive or why do you tell me that? But you'd much rather have a friend at a big social engagement tell you have something in your teeth than simply walk around with a green vegetable hanging out of your mouth. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Candor matters.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.